to the seniors of 2022. I bring you prayers and blessings from our brother Francis and our sister Claire. In whatever way it seems best to you to please God, do so. And who shall ever do this? May she be filled with the blessing of God. And I, your little brother Francis, your servant, confirm in you this most holy blessing. And from our sister Claire, may you go forth from the Sacred Heart tranquilly, joyfully, briskly, in that wholeness with which the Spirit of God has and is calling you. Live without fear. Your Creator has made you holy, has always protected you, and loves you like a mother. Go in peace to follow the good road, and may God's blessing be with you always. Amen.
Speech was sponsored by Pellegrino. Find it at your local Woodman's. Okay. Parents, today I am one of the last obstacles to stand in the way of your child graduating. Oh, sweet power. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility. On behalf of the class of 2022, I would like to welcome our esteemed guest speaker, Lauren Burke. And welcome all friends, family, faculty, friends of family, family of friends, friends of faculty, family of faculty, friends of family of faculty, and the people I paid to clap for me. They are what shaped and molded these amazing ladies behind me into wonderful young women. I would first like to thank all the people that make Sacred Heart excellent, to our administration, for the vision you set for our futures, your oversight, and making the tough calls when needed. To our teachers, for giving us an outstanding education and pushing us to do our best, even when we resist learning. To our student council officers and class officers throughout the years, who coordinate all the fun events and are always there to support us. To the maintenance department, who keep the school functioning efficiently and create a beautiful place to come in and learn every day. To the cafeteria staff, who give us a reason to stay in school with the oh-so-delicious hot lunches. The entirety of the class of 2022 thanks you. Not one person behind me would be receiving a diploma today if it weren't for all your love and support. With the opportunity to present a painstakingly long speech, I wanted to argue the reasons why our school should no longer be 4 floors. But I was informed that I wouldn't be receiving my diploma until after the speech, so I decided to take a different route. So I started to reflect on this enormous achievement. Never have I received such an honor that included the prize of doing an extra homework assignment. This honor embodies 4 years of test taking, essay writing, and going a bit too hard in PE class. However, for a long time, my own self-identity was vested in achievements like this. These tangible awards used to fit what I viewed as success. Now, looking back on my experience at Sacred Heart, my favorite part wasn't the grades or the trophies that I chased so eagerly, but I found that what really mattered to me was my cumulative happiness, not my cumulative GPA. What gave me the most joy was the seemingly unnecessary interactions with my classmates and teammates. The memories of laughter, sweat, and tears in the halls of the school made it worth waking up around 6:30 every morning. It wasn't all that long ago that Mr. Liberty was calling us to the steps of Shea one last time to take a picture of us in our college gear. I want you all to imagine that picture broken down to 112 minuscule pieces. The journey of defining ourselves and our experience at Sacred Heart is represented by this puzzle that you just created in your head. Keeping that in mind, let's start with freshman year. That year was the beginning of the puzzle. About 115 or so young girls walked through Sacred Heart's doors with the nervousness and awkwardness of a prepubescent giraffe. However, we were soon able to adjust to this new lifestyle. We were able to memorize where our classrooms were, make new friends, and discover who we are at Shea. We were also able to find out how many times we can roll up our skirts before Miss Egan can give us a duck sheet. How many times we can forget our lanyard before Miss Egan gives us a duck sheet. And how to outrun Miss Egan so that she couldn't give us a duck sheet. We also joined clubs and teams that helped us to develop lifelong friendships. Some of us joined clubs like Mathletes because they sounded cool, and others joined clubs like DECA because they didn't seem like a lot of work. I took DECA my sophomore year. Some of us committed ourselves to sports where we learned the mantra, sharks eat gators. It was also a year where basic grammar, the Mongols, and the realization that you can't avoid PE class shaped our academic experience. By the time freshman year was over, we were able to piece together the cornerstones of sandstone and brick that frame our building. Now, sophomore year was sort of a blur. We walked in with more confidence and with fewer locker decorations. For some of us, it was an opportunity to continue to develop the relationships we made freshman year, and for others, it was a chance to start over. As a class, we became more connected through our overnight retreat. The 2 days of competing in gaga ball, conquering the ropes course, and cruising in the pedal boats marked the longest most of us have gone without our cell phones. Speaking of cell phones, TikTok became an essential aspect of our Shea community. During school and after school, we were bonding over dance challenges. You can cover your ears for this next part if it's too cringy for you, but amongst the most popular were dances to Renegade, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion, and Say So by Doja Cat. We'll always remember those. As we were learning these dances, we also learned that the rigorous education that Sacred Heart advertises is actually rigorous. That common phrase that junior year is supposed to be the only hard year didn't exactly apply to Shea. However, we learned quickly that these challenging courses were the best way to make friends. The comfort of knowing that we're all struggling together prospered so many of the friendships we still have today. Despite the course load, our class never let the countless hours of schoolwork throw down the party of life. We learned that there was room to have fun inside the classroom, like doodling funny pictures of Dr. Kroll. Thank you, Amanda, Ellie, and others who contributed to that Google Doc. Or having inside jokes, Miss Hope. May she rest in peace. We can't find her anymore. Then March 13th hit, and our 2-week vacation turned into Zooming for the rest of the school year. There were bad parts, such as staring at a screen for 6 hours, not being able to physically see each other, and the awkwardness of no one unmuting their microphone to answer the teacher's question. But there were also some good parts, like the lack of tests, not having class because the teacher forgot to open the Zoom meeting, and waking up at 8 a.m. instead of the usual 6 or 7. Yet, through perseverance and a whole lot of caffeine, we somehow got through it. Again, we solved more of the puzzle. This time, we were able to put together the rest of the brick building, including the windows and the front door, but there was still so much more to go. Junior year was a whole new experience, as we attempted to navigate our in-person education during COVID. We became upperclassmen and leaders, but we also quickly learned that life gets much tougher from here. We started to get bombarded with questions about where we want to go to college and what we want to do with the rest of our lives, which added to our already stressful course load. Along with procrastinating on homework, we also procrastinated on studying for the SAT or ACT. It's a good thing we still have that test optional policy. On the bright side, our teachers became our support systems. A special thanks to Mrs. Lyons, who let us turn the prayer in the beginning of our classes into a venting session. However, like the last 2 years, we always found a way to have fun. This was the year most of us passed our driver's test, then begged our parents for a car, then proceeded to give that car a name. I will personally miss the legend that was the Brandy Van. Some of us failed our driver's test, but thankfully were able to retake it the following week. Crazy how one can become a better driver in a span of 1 week. Nonetheless, we all drove in blasting any song from Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift, her version of course, right up until the bell rang at 8 a.m. With the all-girls environment and isolation due to COVID, it was strange how passionately we shouted the lyrics, fully knowing that most of us have either not been in a relationship or not suffered from a breakup of that calamity. This is also the year we amped up our Spirit Week game. With extreme dedication and determination, we won Spirit Week. However, we lost the Spirit Week dance in what I believe to be the most rigged competition in Sacred Heart history. By the end of this hectic year, our puzzle became more clear. We were able to get most of our heads and limbs in the right spots. The only part that's left was our shirt or sweatshirt that indicates the next chapter of our lives. Senior year was suddenly upon us. Some of us tried to have as many study halls as possible, while others continued to up their course of Emma. As we desperately waited for the fun stuff at the end of the year, like prom and Spirit Week, we sat through Mrs. Maud's quote-unquote fun labs and never-ending calculus or stats problems. Our senioritis kicked in, and we no longer had a filter with our teachers. This contributed to what happens in Calc stays in Calc and teacher first, friend second rules. But there was still a large part of the puzzle we needed to solve: college applications. For those who have never gone through the process, picture this. You download a dating app trying to find your perfect match. You scroll through countless pictures and you think you found the one. He's taller than you, has great hair, and doesn't have a picture holding a fish. You decide you want to click the like button, hoping they will like you back. You start to question yourself. Are you good enough? Will they like me? Is it too late to go back? They get back to you in about 4 or 5 months, and they reject you. But guess what? You liked a bunch of backup men just in case, and one of them works out in the end. After that process was over, life got much better. The mask mandate was lifted, Shake Paws was added, and hot lunches came back. But wait, there's more. We won Spirit Week and the Spirit Week dance. We had food trucks and a slip and slide for our last day of classes. We got to camp outside of our school for a night. And we had a normal prom experience. All of these memories will leave me smiling all summer long, or at least until the nerves of college kick in. At this point, we completed the puzzle of the class of 2022. With all these amazing memories in mind, I would like to leave you all with one important message. These should not be the best 4 years of your life. If writing an essay in 40 minutes and taking the SAT or ACT are the best years of your life, you've done something wrong. In all seriousness, I want you all to continue to make great memories, especially with the opportunity to actually leave your campus and experience the world. The speech was approved. This class has already endured and followed so much with continuing our education during COVID, making us one of the strongest classes in Sacred Heart history. However, now you are a part of a much larger puzzle and will have to face new challenges. Especially in light of the events in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas, it has become evident that it's up to our generation to confront issues plaguing our country and our world today. Now, there are a lot of things that we will forget about high school. I've already forgotten most of what I read in AP Lang class, but one thing stuck with me. In some reading by some man that I cannot remember, Dr. Zalek probably knows, he said, "The epidemic of our time is indifference." I would like to acknowledge all the phenomenal hearts and minds of my classmates that have dedicated their time and money to causes that will heal and benefit our community. My hope is that you all continue to spread love and positivity to combat the injustices, inequality, and hatred in this world. Whether you're studying local or like me, traveling out of the country, Sacred Heart's community has given you the tools to make a difference. Looking ahead into the future, it would be cliche advice to just say follow your dreams. To be honest, your dreams are going to change. So don't get caught up in what you envision your puzzle to be right now. Just try to put one piece together at a time. To my fellow graduates, I wish you all the happiness and success in whatever way you define it in the world. Congratulations, class of 2022. How do I follow Blair and Billy Joel? Good evening. On behalf of the class, of Sacred Heart class of 2022, I would like to thank our family members, friends, faculty and staff, the board of directors, alumni, and our esteemed speaker, Lauren Bird. It is my honor to stand before you all tonight as we celebrate the class of 2022 and give you an inside look into our journey from Freshman Fun Day, as we nervously wondered what the next 4 years would bring, to tonight, as we walk across this stage as Shea graduates and begin the next chapter of our lives with a new set of fears and worries. The difference is, now these fears are accompanied by the knowledge and self-confidence we've gained during our time at Sacred Heart. For many of us, freshman year seems like a different lifetime altogether. This was the year we were introduced to many of the Shea traditions that we would be taking part in for the next 4 years. While this year was filled with bittersweet laughs, freshman year was a year of firsts. Our first walkathon, school-wide mass, Wiggle-O, which we have proudly mastered at this point, our first time singing the school song, which I cannot say we've mastered yet, our first experience with the chaos that is a Sacred Heart bake sale, our first Christmas dance, Day of Sharing, Spirit Week, and our first time making the mistake of calling PE gym class. In case you didn't know, we take physical education class in the gymnasium. The first of many of Bella Samato's Quizlets was sent out, setting an example of how my classmates would always be ready to help with last-minute cramming for a test or quiz. Soon these firsts became normal occurrences that we now can't imagine time without. Sophomore year comes in 2 distinct categories, pre-COVID and COVID quarantine. In October, we were lucky enough to be able to go on an overnight retreat to Camp Stella Maris, where we ziplined, were guided through the woods blindfolded by friends, discovered our love of Gaga Ball, and watched Camp Rock as a class. This was a transformative retreat for our class, and one that brought us together like nothing else had thus far. We were able to experience time in nature with our classmates without the distraction of our phones or schoolwork. We were completely disconnected from the rest of the world, yet more connected than ever with each other. Sophomore year was also the year we showed the upperclassmen just how much spirit we have. We practiced our Spirit Week dance for hours, and to this day, that dance lives on in our hearts as a moment of immense pride and victory. Because in our eyes, we won that karaoke dance competition. Soon, all of our high school drama and worries seemed meaningless, as we were told on that fateful Friday the 13th in March 2020 that we may not be coming back to school for a couple of weeks. What we thought of as a much-needed vacation soon turned into an isolating 5 months before we would be able to be in the Shea building together again. We didn't realize until then just how much we took coming to school every day and seeing our friends' smiling faces for granted. I think we can all agree that the period from March to the end of May that year seems like a warped version of reality. Although this was a time when we were not able to connect in the ways we were used to, we somehow still managed to stay connected in other ways. Birthday drop-offs, long walks, baking, and learning how to cut hair from YouTube tutorials became our version of reality. School over Zoom came with the struggles of poor internet connection, asynchronous days, fun camera backgrounds, discussion board assignments, being stuck in the waiting room, and that one time everyone randomly got kicked off of Zoom during Dr. Virginia's Latin class. What a weird coincidence. But in all seriousness, it truly is a great accomplishment for us to have made it through these last couple years, pushing through the schoolwork, juggling between in-person and online learning, and adjusting to the new school protocols. On behalf of myself and my classmates, I would like to thank Ms. Demmert and the rest of the administration for doing everything they could to keep us in school these last 2 years. The connection of in-person learning is something we will never take for granted again. I would also like to specially thank the outstanding teachers who have been with us every step of the way, cheering us on and figuring out how to work Zoom just as we did. Their hard work, dedication to our education, and all the extra hours they spent making sure we didn't fall behind is the reason we were able to continue to succeed academically. I cannot put into words how grateful we are for our Shea teachers. Next came junior year, The year most of us survived solely because of the never-ending supply of caffeine we were providing our bodies with in the form of iced coffee. It's safe to say that our class alone would have provided enough business needed to keep any Starbucks, Dunkin', or Tim's open and running. This was also the year many of us took our driver's tests, some of us more times than others. Olivia Rodrigo's song, Driver's License, came out just as we were getting our own licenses, providing the perfect song to belt in the car on our way to get coffee. Junior year is tough under normal circumstances, with SATs, ACTs, and the realization that it's no longer too early to worry about college or the future. Now try adding a global pandemic, masks, social distancing, quarantines after contact tracing, and COVID testing. To say it was rough is an understatement. But being able to be with our classmates in the classroom every day was well worth it. We learned to look at what we could do instead of what we were missing out on, found little ways to make each other laugh, and realized the importance of being there for one another. Our sports teams were able to play again and prove that sharks eat gators still holds true. The Shouties found ways to spread spirit throughout the school day and cheer on their friends, even if they couldn't be in the stands or on the bleachers at sporting events. Our theater department proved that the show must go on when they announced we would be making a movie musical version of High School Musical 2. Finally, at the end of the year, we were able to have our night under the stars, as the backyard of our school was transformed into the perfect prom location, with food trucks, 2 dance floors, lawn games, and a photo booth. The beautiful lights hanging on the trees and throughout the yard lit the dance floor for us as we were truly dancing in the moonlight. It was a perfect end to a challenging year and gave us hope for what senior year might bring. Finally, we made it to senior year. I never understood what people meant when they talked about the feeling of being a senior. Now I get it. Every moment is a last. I think it was clear when this reality began to sink in for us. The tears began to flow, more than usual, and the seniors began to get more and more wild as the year went on. Before these end-of-the-year feelings began to sink in, there were the long months between September and January, when the only topic of every conversation seemed to be college. Any free time during the day was spent frantically writing college essays, filling out applications. Then came the dreaded period of waiting for decisions to come out, followed by the celebrations and congratulations when we found out where we had been accepted. We were there for each other during every step of the way, and once again I was blown away by the support my classmates showed each other as we all figured out what we were going to be doing for the next 4 years. As we counted down the months, then the weeks, and finally the days until we were done with classes, there were those who were hit hard with senioritis, those who took on the typical invincible senior role, convinced they were immune to any form of punishment, and those who were in denial that their last days of high school was drawing to a close. I would put myself in that last category. However, Mr. Ayers' 6th period Gov class was a great example of extreme senioritis, and my 9th period free in the senior lounge was either filled with more seniors than just those who had free, as music was regularly blasted through a speaker, or it was oddly almost completely empty on some days. That is until the security guard began to catch on. I think I speak for my entire class when I say that I will forever be grateful for the extraordinary senior year that we have had, filled with memories and friends that will last a lifetime. Over the last 4 years, I've witnessed the transformation of the young women sitting behind me. Each and every one of them has become a leader and has found their voice amid all the noise and chaos that is our world. My class was lucky enough to have had, without a doubt, one of the best student council officers in Shea history and the best senior class officers we could have asked for. These young women managed to give us a special year full of fun senior activities and unique Wednesday assemblies, such as learning Kung Fu in the school's backyard, a beautiful senior sunrise, a movie night out on the back lawn, and a spirit week we will never forget. I think we all knew that Grace would dominate the surprise shark riding competition and win our class the 500 spirit week points that we deserved. Just a week ago, we were dancing on Cloud 9 at our senior prom at Salvatore's, where for the last time, we tried to last the entirety of Cotton Eye Joe while in heels on a dance floor not nearly big enough and surrounded by a mass of very sweaty classmates. Our class leaders gave us these moments and so many more, and they did it while having to work around the looming, ever-present COVID-19 virus. Paige, one of our most persistent class officers, was never shy about speaking on the class's behalf via email, whether she was trying to get us a much-deserved snow day or informing Mrs. Rooney that on the morning of our senior prank day, the class officers would encourage the seniors to get to school early to engage in class bonding. I'm not sure that a sleepover with tents on the front lawn was what administration had in mind after reading that email. Our class's persistence and the ability to work together to achieve a common goal can be seen by the infamous snow day email chain, where we voiced our deepest concerns for ours and other drivers' safety if we were made to drive to school the next day in such extreme blizzard conditions. That snow day was indeed a great accomplishment, but in all seriousness, our class leaders not only advocated for us and our class, but for our community as well. After the tragic Buffalo shooting on May 14th, our class leaders took action to do what they could to help our community, organizing a food drive where we collected non-perishable foods and hygiene products which would be donated to the community affected by the shooting. This quick thinking, organization, and participation is the perfect example of how my class comes together and serves our community in times of need. The value of service has clearly been instilled throughout our 4 years here at Sacred Heart, and our growth as individuals can be seen through our willingness to serve others on our own time and encourage others to do the same. As I just recounted all of these memorable moments throughout our 4 years at Sacred Heart, it is important to remember that the most beautiful, most important moments that shaped us and our time together were the little ones. The little moments shared between friends at lunch as we expressed our enthusiasm for the return of hot lunches, playing music in the senior lounge, or piling into a car with friends before school and then running into homeroom as the bell rings, even though you've been in the parking lot since 7:30. There are so many moments like these that have been shared between us throughout the years, and they are different for each of us. But it was these moments that got us through the day. It was these moments that created the indescribable bond between us that only my fellow classmates and alumni can understand. This bond is so much deeper than the Shea sisterhood that is often described to incoming freshmen. It is transformative, and it has given me another family I never knew I needed, and the sisters I never knew I wanted. Now, as the class of 22, there has been no shortage of Taylor Swift songs blasting through the halls or being sung during our Spirit Week dances. And if you know me at all, then you know that at 8 years old, I was begging my parents to buy me a guitar so that I could play our song just like Taylor. When I was thinking about how to put into words a final message to my fellow classmates, one Taylor Swift song came to mind. And since she has a way of capturing feelings into the perfect words, I thought I would play a part of that song for you, because obviously I need my guitar. And I ask that my classmates please join in if they know the words. Long live the walls we crashed through, how the kingdom light shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring out all the pretenders, I'm not afraid. Singing, long live all the mountains we moved, I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. And long, long live that look on your face, and bring out all the pretenders. One day you will be remembered. Long live the class of 2022. Each and every one of you has left your mark on our Sacred Heart community, and I know that we will be remembered in more ways than one. So to the beautiful women sitting behind me, who I've had the privilege to share the halls with these last 4 years, class of 2022, I've had the time of my life with you. Congratulations.
evening. It is my privilege to introduce tonight's commencement speaker. Lauren Bird is a Buffalo native and a 2003 graduate of Buffalo Academy of the Sacred Heart. Following her time at Shea, Ms. Bird went on to earn a Bachelor's of Science in Music Business from the State University of New York at Fredonia. She is a leading marketing and brand partnerships executive in the live entertainment industry. Having spent the last 15 years working in sports and entertainment, Ms. Bird has built relationships with some of the most prominent brands in the world. Ms. Bird currently leads brand partnerships for Fem It Forward at Live Nation, a role she recently accepted after serving as the regional director for the Live Nation media and sponsorship team. She now focuses on building relationships and opportunities within the music industry for women. Just say. And this work especially, she's working with women of color and creating powerful connections with brands who share in that mission. Some of Ms. Bird's most notable and meaningful work was executed here in her hometown of Buffalo. She created and founded the Mercedes-Benz of Buffalo Fashion Week, which helped to shine a spotlight on Buffalo, attracting fashion retail, designers, and brands to the city. She also played an integral part in Buffalo's waterfront development while in her role at Canalside, bringing millions of dollars of revenue to the waterfront to support programming, activities, and events. Currently, Ms. Bird resides in Philadelphia. She is engaged to her fiance, Joel, and enjoys spending time with Joel's son, Luciano, and their beloved rescue dog, Bailey. Ms. Bird is also deeply committed to serving her community. She serves on the advisory board for Fem It Forward's mentorship program, the Scholarship Foundation for the Philadelphia Advertising Club, and enjoys giving back to her community through her support of local wildlife rescue and major parks conservancies in Philadelphia. Ms. Bird is proud to support our Sacred Heart community with a newly established scholarship she co-founded with her mother and sister this year. Ms. Bird is a perfect example of taking the gifts God has bestowed and ensuring good comes from sharing those gifts. She enjoys traveling, dancing, and spending time back in Western New York with her family and loved ones. Please help me welcome our 2022 commencement speaker, Ms. Lauren Bird.
I keep saying I don't need these. It's really hard to follow Blair and Emma and the musical performances and speak to you ladies today, but they delivered some really important messages. And I'm so happy that they spoke about, what's recently happened in our community and across the world, as well as brought a little bit of humor today to this environment. So thank you both. Thank you both for sharing that. So good evening, and thank you to the Buffalo Academy of the Sacred Heart and the class of 2022 for having me here today to speak at your commencement. As I was writing, I thought to myself, how can I inspire a class of 112 young women? So I sat and wrote and thought, wrote some more, and basically gave up with trying to figure out the perfect thing to say. So I decided to give you the same advice I would have given to my younger self 19 years ago when I was sitting in your place. So to the class of 2022 and my younger self, first, I tell you to be patient the ceremony and speech won't last that much longer. And soon you'll be on your way to eating at one of your favorite restaurants, surrounded by your loved ones. But before the end of the night, don't forget to just pause. Live in the moment. Realize that you'll never be in this place at this time in your beautiful graduation dresses, which they are beautiful. And don't think I didn't see the pantsuits, ladies, because I did. So take it all in. Take in your classmates' well wishes. Take in the advice from every speaker and role model with you here today, because today is precious. Second, I tell you to start building today. And what I mean by that is start building your network, ladies. Look around you, your peers, the women sitting beside you and behind you. They and so many others you meet along the way will be the people you may turn to for support, advice, maybe even a future job. Remember to try to build and cultivate relationships around you, and remember that you're always leaving an impression on others every step of the way. Third, I encourage you to pursue your passion. This is a big one, ladies. You know, it's funny because I was looking back through my yearbook. I actually have it right here. And I came across my senior photo with all of my activities listed beside it. I don't know if that's still done, but okay. And I realized that nearly all of the things I was involved in or passionate about that were listed are still the things that I'm passionate about today. Service Club, Ecology Club, Respect Life Club, being a Shea ambassador, Shea musical and vocal ensemble. Those are just a few. So I urge you to think about the things you're passionate about. Think about them now and hold on to them. One day you'll realize that your passion will attract others in more ways than you can possibly imagine. You'll have ideas that just seem like fun daydreams, and one day you'll actually bring them to life. For example, when I dreamt of creating Fashion Week, and yes, Buffalo did have a Fashion Week, ladies. People thought I was crazy, by the way, but I made that happen. Or when I envisioned a thriving waterfront for my city and was passionate about that, I actually had the chance to help bring that to life. Or even when I walked the red carpet in New York City for my first major movie premiere. What an amazing feeling. Pursuing my passion has led me to do some incredible things and meet some incredible people. Like when I met Tiana Taylor this year. She surprised me. She embraced me with a really warm and genuine hug. And for those of you who know who Tiana Taylor is, she's a little rough around the edges. And of all the celebrities I met, I will never forget how passionate she was about her music, and more importantly, how she made me feel like I was a Shea sister, like I was just another friend. This reminds me of a famous quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Fourth, take a deep breath. I'd like for you to not panic, because today I'm sure reality is setting in. But it will all work out. Life has a way of working itself out. As long as you let your faith in God guide you, you'll be all right. Even when you accidentally forget to renew your auto insurance. Or when you bomb your first major exam. Or even if you switch your major 3 times in college. Yeah, my parents love that one. It'll be all right. You'll be tested both personally and professionally. You might freak out, but then you'll remember that the last time you were faced with an obstacle, you overcame it. You'll learn to stress less and trust more in the fact that things will always work out in the end. Fifth, you are a Shea woman. You've literally been primed over the last 4 years at Sacred Heart to handle anything. For example, like passing challenging exams. I've heard you guys talk about this on stage. Mastering fashion with very limited options. I mean, making maroon and white and gray look good, that's hard to do. And not to mention those very real and direct conversations with Sister Connie. You know what I'm talking about. Remember that Shea has given you the foundation to thrive, especially in an all-female environment, which is a huge asset for you as women leading in the professional world. Did I mention it's a pretty cool time to be a woman? I'm not lying. There are a lot of boss ladies out there, and in here today. Hashtag the future is female. So at the end of the day, and at the end of this speech, I'd like for you to remember this. Follow your heart, but never do so without faith as your guiding anchor. Be yourself. I mean, you really can't change who you are too much, so you should start loving the person God created you to be. Your uniqueness will be the thing that sets you apart and makes you memorable in your personal and professional journey. And last, life is a journey, and the excitement is in figuring it all out. So don't be afraid to take the next step, even when the path is unclear. One of my favorite quotes that I've lived by for many years by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the entire staircase. Just take the first step. So graduates, class of 2022, the future boss ladies of the world, no doubt, I applaud you and celebrate you for taking this next big step in life, fearlessly and with the entire community of Sacred Heart behind you. Thank you.
The following students have satisfactorily completed the course of study at Buffalo Academy of the Sacred Heart and approved by the University of the State of New York are entitled to this academic diploma. Alexis Isabella Tronconi. Sofia Maria Esposito. Megan Elizabeth Flanagan. Isabella Munoz. Juliana Rose Wazowitz. Thina Margaret Monet Bell. Juliana Rose Ducato. Isabella Marie Judge. Blair Sidney Kuznarek, Alexis Marie Fielding, Amanda Nicole Stokopoulos, Kristen Katie Klein, Madeline Aurora Pirelli, Brianna Nicole Grofair, Abigail Caroline Smith, Emma Alicia Vargas, Ava Grace Lily Sclafani, Lily Grace Williams, Maura Lynn Clark, Mia Marie Santora, Alice Bennett Falkowski is receiving her diploma from her mother, Maureen Bennett Falkowski, class of 1987. Ashley Jenna Kennedy, Grace Catherine Russo, Ryan Elizabeth Ensminger, Cameron Ray Dwyer, Sydney Michaela Gilmartin, Emma Nicole Flatow, Isabella McDonald Rajecki, Claire Catherine Atkinson, Alexa Jordan Colaz, Mary Sayed El Khoury, Isabella Lily Letcher. Persia Tigris Weiss. Brianna Grace Perez. Sydney Nicole Norman. Keelan Brady Schaefer. Madison Rosalie Pijot. Allison Kathleen Bird. Mia Caroline Boyd. Jocelyn Ann Janik. Nevaeh Janae Henry. Matea Annabella Giano. Natalie Peg Walter is receiving her diploma from her grandmother, Margaret Mandel Walter, class of 1945. Peyton Marlene Pozowinski. Mia Elizabeth Brody. Emma Isabel Beecher. Leah Hope Fortune. Bailey Samantha Hardick. Ashley Grace Arnold. Ava Ray Kiker. Anna Grace Donner is receiving her diploma from her grandmother, Teresa Herman Donner, class of 1968. Morgan Avery John Caterino. Ariana Shantiz Daniels. Lainey Kathleen Smith. Amanda Marie Galley. Sophia Michelle Curio is receiving her diploma from her godmother, Brittany Barber, class of 2008. Nablu Mint. Somaya Begum. Elenia Christina Rosa. Karis Pia Di Cristofaro is receiving her diploma from her mother, Connie Di Cristofaro, class of 1988. Hey Blue Mint. Madeline May Slowinski. Lena Rose DeBell. Annalie Faith DeGlapper. Morgan Winter Shaver. Micah Ashira Beard. Molly Elizabeth Samara. Megan Elise Firm. Kennedy Ray Fishline. Madeline Shea Flattery. Hannah Jordan Hober. Rachel Antoinette McCrae. Erin Elizabeth Tracy. Paige Mackenzie Duggan. Isabella Michelle Samato. Caitlin Rebecca O'Neill. Sophie Elizabeth Hartzell is receiving her diploma from her mother, Jamie Lynn Paycheck Hartzell, class of 1991. Samantha Grace Falbo. Gabrielle Olivia Sanchez. Allegra Ann DiCristofaro is receiving her diploma from her mother, Connie DiCristofaro, class of 1988. Grace Ryan Nagy. Julia Catherine Shilen. Monet Victoria Tanja. Ava Grace Archer is receiving her diploma from her mother, Barbara Courtney Archer, class of 1982. Francesca Maria Colana is receiving her diploma from her mother, Gabriella Paleri Colana, class of 1992. Emily Rose Fisher is receiving her diploma from her mother, Michelle Cuddy Fisher, class of 1989. Ava Barbara Goldstein. Ellie Grace Parks. Sarah Ann Rosso. Sophie Claire Schechter. Anna Kate Bartlow. Cameron Grace Brownshire. Mary Faith Chaya. Sydney Nora Freimeyer. Willow Rose Conde Gomez. Nicole Taylor Janik. Elsie Winter Hilney. Megan Catherine O'Leary. Madison Page Vento. Caitlin Elizabeth Botazek. Jordan Elizabeth Carlson. Taryn Lee Mason. Olivia Talaayo Ehimare. Jordan Julianne Ray. Olivia Grace Lorena Kurdziel. Olivia Noel Bates. Mary Reagan Katerina. Faith Ann Hackett. Megan Margaret Finney will receive her diploma from her mother, Maureen Forrester Finney, class of 1987. Isabella Sue Allen. Lauren J. Tompkins. Catherine Elizabeth Tock. Please join me in a round of applause for the entire
final blessing of the evening, I need to take this moment to mention what an exceptional class you have been. You have been flexible, resilient, and remarkably able to always find the positive over the last 4 years. I'm grateful for your kind spirits, your positive leadership, your sense of fun and adventure, you heard a little bit about that tonight, and your deeply formed bonds of sisterhood. You are loved and will be missed. Members of the class of 2022, before you were ever formed, God knew you. While in your mother's womb, God named you. At your birth, God's breath filled you with life. Today, we celebrate the young women you have become, and so we give thanks and pray. God of our beginnings, we thank you for the gift of these graduates, their excitement, their wonder and curiosity, their perseverance and determination in the face of unprecedented challenges, their open speech and encouraging words. Their contributions have blessed and challenged us, and we have become a richer and more diverse community because of them. As these members of the class of 2022 step forward into the uncertain world that awaits them, we ask you to comfort their fears and anxieties with the knowledge of your presence. We ask you to strengthen their resolve to walk in the footsteps of Jesus as modern disciples in a world that desperately needs their spirit. We ask you to guide them as they move through life, protecting them from darkness and bitterness. We ask you to show them how to effectively use their education, talents, and voices to radiate the promise of your light. We also express gratitude for those who helped shape these young women, for parents and guardians who sacrificed so these young women could experience a Sacred Heart education, and who have showered these women with love and support. For teachers and mentors who cultivated clarity and understanding both in and out of the classroom. For friends and classmates who supported one another in the formation of a true and enduring sisterhood. Members of the class of 2022, please stand. Or not up there. May the blessing of God, our Mother and Father, continue to gift you with abundance of life. May the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the source of all love, strengthen you in the love of God, love of yourself, and love of all creation. May you go forth from the academy to enrich the world around you, and may you return often to be nourished by the friends, memories, and sisterhood that have shaped your lives in the past 4 years. God be with each and every one of you. Amen. Have a seat for a second, right? Everybody's sitting out there. Following the traditional rose toss, our wonderful musicians will play our recessional. Please, family and friends, allow our faculty and staff to leave this auditorium first, followed by the graduates, and then followed by families and friends. The graduates will receive their diplomas from their homeroom teachers in the lobby. They receive their cases up here. Their diplomas are actually out there. Now, parents and guests, please have your cameras ready. Ladies, please remove one of your roses from your bouquet as I present to those present today for one last time the members of the class of 2022. Ladies, please throw your rose and congratulations.